Lucky Montana is back at the state capture inquiry today, giving more Prasa-related evidence. During his last appearance, the former rail agency CEO told the commission that the Guptas were never involved in Prasa. Well, for more from the Zondo Commission today, I'm joined now by Khayelihle Khumalo, my colleague. Kaya, good afternoon. Once again, I understand that Mr. Montana is insisting today that there was no grand corruption under his tenure while he was in charge at Prasa. Tell us more.
Well, that's right, Braden. So he spoke at length about very critical decisions that he took while at Prasa, but also just once again talking about a critical issue, saying the ANC has failed accountability test. And this is, of course, in reference to the testimony that was adduced by the party's president, Cyril Ramaphosa, last week. Mr. Montana once again really slamming them for failing to be honest about the state of affairs, Braden, where he went as far as saying that the CEOs of the state-owned enterprises from time to time were summoned to Luthuli House, where they had to explain certain deals so that some leaders within the party and certain individuals with ANC links would benefit from lucrative deals at Prasa, and also in some instances as well, once again highlighting a very acrimonious relationship that he had with the board chair at the time, that is of course Popo Molefe. And also Mr. Montana went as far as indicating that a point that he's always been highlighting about the resistance that he had whenever the Guptas tried to come at Prasa, especially because it's a very critical entity. South Africa at the time, you go back to 2014, they were reviving the railways, and Prasa had a very crucial role to play to that effect. So once again, let's take a listen to Mr. Montana.
Not everything is about corruption. Where I've made mistakes, Chef, let them be pointed out.
Yeah.
But to project this thing that there was this grand corruption and all of those things is so false. I don't share that view, Chair.
Okay, no, that's fine. I thought I would just say that because I was tempted to say it, so I thought, let me say it and give you the freedom not to say anything or to say something. But look, Mr. Montana, we as a commission, I think we try our best. We take our work seriously. We are acting in good faith. We might be misunderstood sometimes, but we are doing the best we can, and we accept that people will have different views about our work and the commission. And we hold no grudges. We say it's fine, it's a public process, and we just keep on trying to do our best.
And what did he have to say about ongoing claims that have been made that when he was in charge, he ruled Prasa with an iron fist?
Well, Braden, that's right. So he has vehemently denied those claims. In fact, he went as far as indicating that as far back as in 2015, the head of legal affairs at Prasa had been very unruly, and of course that Miss Martha Ngoye, she had presented her testimony here before the inquiry, and she has stated categorically that under Montana a lot of things happened, and of course once again Mr. Montana is denying all those claims. But in fact, Mr. Montana today told the inquiry that Miss Ngoye at some point was not a team player, as it were. She was not willing to make sure that this particular entity is able to function. But also a very significant aspect today, Mr. Montana going as far as saying that Prasa has always been his story, and he says when he was appointed to make sure that this particular entity is established, it was quite a very important task from his side. But let's take a listen to him once again.
They took their letters to Mr. Molefe and say, we've been fired and everything. So myself and Mr. Molefe, Mr. Popo Molefe, we then had a discussion before the board. In fact, we delayed the board meeting for about 2 hours because there was a big fight between myself and Mr. Molefe. And I asked him, why are you a shop steward of these employees? There are employees who are being suspended, who are being disciplined in this company. You don't speak for them. Why? Then we had, and we were holding the board meeting for a long time. We then reached a compromise. And I said, no, it's fine. I'm going to bring these people back, but I'm going to then discipline them. So I then asked our legal department, our ER team to prepare letters. The one was for me to resign the dismissal. The other one was then to give them a letter suspending them pending a disciplinary action. So we did that, Chair. So it was not a meeting where the Chair came and we had a big fight for 2 hours. And part of the issues that I was conveying to Mr. Molefe, that you see, these employees, she's daring me precisely because we are standing behind them. So all these wrong things are now starting to have a toll. But as long as I'm CEO, rest assured, I'm going to act against these people.